I mean, if you've got a big job and you can do 90 k's an hour and map everything out, the time saving in that could just about pay for itself in the one job. The range is 40 kilometres. 40 kilometres. That's again, next level. Game changer. Okay guys, it's Kyle here from Tethered Infrared Thermography, and guess what today is? NDD, New Drone Day. So, today, what have we got? No, that's the wrong way around. Here we go. Got the M400. Woohoo! Party time! Rightio, so this is it. And you got the battery case and the M400 case. So we've actually got the 300 here, the 350, sorry. So I'll do a bit of a side by side for you. Actually, let's go back to back with him. So we're going side by side here, so you can see it's fairly close to the same size, just a little bit bigger. So that's pretty flush there. So you've just got that little extra, you know, an inch or two. Slightly different case that overlaps a little bit where this has got the crease. So that's another little interesting feature that's slightly different. The underneath is, yeah, pretty much status quo, really. Just that ribbing might be just slightly bigger. Not that that's going to make any difference. So I'll chuck them back to back. Try and get them. Oh, hang on. We'll chuck it that way. So we've got the handles on the same side. So that's pretty close. Handle and everything looks the same. All this gear all looks the same. And again, it's just that little bit. So you got that there. So just that little bit bigger. Height wise, what do we got? Yeah, smidge bigger height wise too. So there's a little bit there, but not a huge amount. Where the difference is this one. We'll put them on the same side so we've got the same handles. So again, we've got just that little bit higher, but I'll tuck that in, square him up, put that down. So there's a bit more difference there. So there's a fair bit bigger gap there. So yeah. So you can really tell the difference there. Slightly higher. Slightly higher. But and weight. Oh yeah, you know this. You definitely notice the difference in the weight. Yeah. No, there's quite a bit in that. Wow, I wasn't expecting that. So with the M40, that's the big difference right there. Is the batteries. Alrighty, I'll lie this down. We'll open it up. That's already open. And then you'll see it as it is in the box. Yeah, so that's it. So it's actually got these protective covers on your motors. So that's quite cool. So we'll just, yeah, so that sort of does fit on quite snug. I actually like that, because it just stops them all flapping around. And then it's sort of, you got a little cutout here, so they all sit in there nicely. So I think that's a good thing. And then you got this fella here. Take that out. What else have we got? Okay, so you got a few little nooks and crannies to put bits and pieces. Yep. Cool. Then obviously the RC, the new controller. Very good. So I'm not going to pull this out one-handed, because I'll end up dropping it or something and smashing it, and I'll be rather annoyed with myself. So what I might do is I might just pull this out of the box now and have a quick bo peep. So I'll put you on pause for a minute. So the other thing I've got to do just before I pull this out of the box, just to let you know, they're all the same. Apologise for the light, it's a bit bright today, so facing the wrong way really, but anyway, so these are the legs. So basically the same as the 350 in the positioning of them. So so basically you just got the little socket there, it just slides in. See that, just bang, get them to marry up, pull that down on there, and you do a half turn. Same with this fella. So make sure them dots line up, and then just that half turn, you can't turn any further, it's all locked in, happy days. Righto, I'll put you down for a second and we'll continue on. Yeah, so there it is. There is the beast. It's actually got a pretty tough looking stance on it really, doesn't it? I don't know what you're thinking, but I reckon it does. Yeah. And you've got another one, another protector here. It just pops off. We'll put him in the case. All right, we'll flip these out. Make it official. Alrighty, just wind her on, lock it in. There you go. So, one thing, because I've opened the box of the 350, and there we go. Just got to get that. Oh, okay. There we go. So we've just opened the box of the 400. And we've basically got them covers and got that, the foamy bit there, and then the rotors sort of sit in here with the covers, which go back to your 350, which that's going to be probably a bit easier and quicker, probably more stable too, because it's actually held like the 400 is. The M4, sorry, with that protective little bit of foam there, and it locks it in there. So I reckon that's a good thing. That's got to be a good thing, because this rubbing on the rotors, if you're bouncing around the bush and all that sort of stuff, it's not going to do, you know, in the four-wheel drive and you're out in the middle of the nowheres. There's probably more that I mean, it's not. There's not too much pressure, it's just enough, but you know, it's just another thing that's, you know, potentially putting extra load or strain on your rotors, or on, you know, around the pins, or, you know, I don't know. I'm making it up as I go along really, but you know, I'm just here opening boxes up and just trying to piece together what's good, what's not, for you guys. So, you know, because like this is one of the few well, probably a handful in Australia at the moment. So we've got one in our little paws. So yeah, so I think it's good to really get into the nuts and bolts and just check out all the differences, because then you have a look at them rotors together too. So that's over the top. Them rows are quite a bit bigger and a little bit broader as well. Looks like a little slightly different pitch angle, is it? Or is that just upside down? Or... yeah, might be. Because it's a bit bigger, you might not need, you probably don't need quite as much lift. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, this might be so. Yeah, anyway, so making up as I go along here. Alrighty, so this is it. The 400. Let's pull them out, make it look official. Yeah, look at that beast. And look at that battery there. Look at where that goes in. That's a monster. Absolute monster hole. Yeah. And again, just with that 350, look at the difference in the motors too. That's huge. That's a big difference. That's a big difference. That would be at least 20 or 30% bigger. Yeah. So that's it. Then you've got all your sensors here. Now on the top, that is a 360 degree rotating LiDAR. How's that come up? Oh, okay, a little pinchy. It's just a little pinchy. That makes it easy. Oop, sorry. Too busy looking myself with my eyes. So that's a rotating 360 LiDAR on top. So with that LiDAR, apparently you are looking at, now I believe you can be cruising along at, now don't quote me, I think it's like 60 k's an hour. Sorry, I'm listening. You can be cruising along at 60 k's an hour. It'll see a power line up to 12 millimeters at 60 k's an hour and be able to pull up. I mean, that's a game changer in itself. So, and the other cool thing with this is if you're on a planned route and you're scooting along and then you find there's a cross transmission line going that way, it will actually rise over, come down the other side and continue on without missing a beat. So just them extra safety features on their own is just amazing. It's just, again, it's that next step. So as you know, some people use the term game changer. This is probably the next game changer with things like this on there. That obstacle avoidance is huge because the obstacles are our worst nightmare, and they always pop up when you don't expect them. So yeah, that's bloody awesome. Now the other interesting thing is that not only does it have the LiDAR, but it's got the the MM wave radar as well. So that's another feature that I don't think the 350's got that either. So that's with all the obstacle avoidance stuff, just layer upon layer upon layer. So, oh, that's interesting. It's an extra sort of vent. Oh, and then that one's, yeah, okay. That's going sideways. There you go. As I say, I'm just going over this and just see, this is a demo unit, not for sale. Yeah, so we're hot off the press with this. Yeah, that's really cool. Alrighty, so let's get into a few bits and pieces. So again, the big thing is you're going from 2 batteries to 1. Flight time with this, they're saying 59 minutes, which, you know, you can take that with a grain of salt depending on wind and a whole bunch of other factors. But still, that's a definite upgrade with 1 battery. The other interesting thing is, with this, you've only got 1 battery. The $1 million question is, can you hot swap it? And the answer is yes, you can. It's got a capacitor in there, and I believe that it's around 40 seconds that you get to do the hot swap, and it holds everything, holds the power in there with the capacitor, and then you slot it in and then it just takes over again. So that is another really cool feature. So again, that's why you can get away with the one battery and just do the hot swap, bang, and you're up in the air again in no time. That's a really good thing, really good thing. So what else have we got? So the other very, very, very interesting thing is, with this, it's got a new operating system. So it's had an upgrade to the operating system in it. So everything the M4's got on it will transfer over to this, and then some improvements again on top of that. So if you're doing mapping missions, like a mapping and modelling mission in orthomosaic, you can go up to 90 k's an hour, apparently. And so again, don't quote me on this. This is just all new. So you do some research and you'll sort of find out. But my understanding is, so tell me if I'm wrong. I don't care. Just at 90 k's an hour, that just takes it to a whole new level. Wow. I mean, if you've got a big job and you can do 90 k's an hour and map everything out, that's the time saving in that. That could just about pay for itself in the one job. That's amazing. So the other thing is also the controller. The controller is a bit new too. So it looks to me the same as the M4, but this has also had an upgrade. So we've got a little puppy on the back here, an extra aerial, and I'm doing this one-handed again. Put it down before you drop it. So then you put your aerials up. So you've got this new aerial. So that is, my understanding is that's a 2G, and then you've got the 2.4 and 5G with the other aerials. So it's pretty much the same as the M4. Now put that down there. Let's have a look in the back. Got a battery in there too. Happy days. So that all looks pretty much same. Is that the? That looks like the 37, doesn't it? So that all looks the same. Yeah. Okay. So then you've got your buttons on the top. Scrolly over the top there. USB-A, HDMI at the top, and then you've got your screw holes for your, if you're using the chest harness with the stabilizer. All the other stuff is the same there. Okay. Yep. So that's all pretty much same. And then you got the other screws on the top there for other things. What else we got? So just the USB-A and the HDMI. Oh, and then you've got then you've got your micro SD and USB-C there for your charging. Okay, that all makes sense. Yeah, so this has had an upgrade in the operating system as well. The other big thing with this is the range of this with this. You can't use this controller with anything else. This controller will apparently do, this controller with that drone will do up to 40 k's an hour. 40 k's an hour, good on me. The range is 40 kilometers. 40 kilometers. That's again, next level. Game changer. So that beyond line to sight stuff, large mapping areas, you know, what else are you going to use? There's nothing else on the market that comes close to that at the moment, or nothing that I know of anyway. I'm welcome to be proven wrong, but I don't know of anything else at this stage, because I mean, this is straight out of the box, as you can see. You're not going to get much newer than that. What else we got there? Now, the payloads. This takes up to a 6 kg payload. So you can obviously have your multiple cameras set up, sort of like on the 350 there, you have your multiple gimbals. So you have your gimbal, you have your camera, spotlight, LiDAR, whatever you need. So the other thing is, well, I don't know whether I can do this or not without causing mischief. I'll just pause you a sec. Okay, so I've managed to flip this upside down. So this is the underneath. So you got your sensors there, got your light. So I'm guessing this is where you'd set up, because you can do the drop your payload, you know, for rescues, search and rescue and things like that. I'm guessing that's why there's screws and everything there. Again, I don't know anything that, I haven't seen anything that's come out for that personally. There probably is, no doubt, but there may not be, or there might be in progress, I'm not sure. But then, so you can actually have 7 payloads with this. So you've got E1, E2, E3, E4. You've got your vents there, obviously some cooling, so to try and keep things in, but they're all screwed in, so it keeps your, obviously your IP water rating at its maximum. And then you've got this that plugs straight in to there. Yeah, okay. So I'm just sort of assessing and checking stuff out, because I haven't even got you haven't even got you in sight properly. I mean, this is a bare bones. I mean, I haven't done much sort of research. As I say, I just like to do videos natural, and find things as I go, and then sort of show you guys, because I think it just sort of sticks with you a lot more and a lot easier, and you remember things more when things are really pointed out, just fresh. Yeah. So yeah, 7 payloads, 6 kilo. Whoops. Carry 6 kilos, which is huge. That's a lot. But again, you've got to be mindful of what payloads you got on there all the time, because if you have to drop something heavy, you might need to, take one of your cameras or something off, perhaps, or depending on, or if you're doing LiDAR or something, Oh, look, I don't know, I'm just making up as I go along. But just be mindful of your cameras and your other payloads to not go over that 6. I mean, you probably could, because they usually make them so you can actually go over, and they have to make a rating, a minimum rating, but you don't want to push that, because that would then obviously void your warranties. But that's the underneath. Alrighty, well, what about if we get the 350 and this one side by side, so you can actually see the comparison yourself with your own eyes. Okay, here we are, side by side comparison. Oops, someone's in trouble at the back there. Hear the sirens in the background. So there is a noticeable height difference there. Again, it's probably 5 centimetres, but then you've got the LiDAR on top. So they've removed some of the sensors on here because they've got the LiDAR. So that's going to help considerably with all your obstacle avoidance and that sort of stuff. So that just takes that to a new level. You still got them side ones to get that spread. This one's more forward pointing, isn't it? More forward pointing. Yeah. Yep, we're all learning as we go here. So let's have a look. I don't know whether you can see that or not. So that's all squared up at the front, and that's straight over the top of that. So there's a, you know, that'll be 10 centimetres. Yeah, that'd be the best part of 3 inches there. Then we'll grab this fella and we'll go from the back. That's pretty close. Actually, that's probably closer. So, and there's another couple of centimetres there. Yep. So it's fairly close, but it's, you know, it's definitely a bigger footprint for sure. Have a look at that. Yeah. So you still got to move back. Yeah, that sort of. Yeah, so with the rotors out, it's over hand width difference. Anyway, that's that. So that is the M400 versus the 350 with the drone. Now it's the battery. Look at them puppies. They are big batteries. Right, let's get these side by side. Nope. Notice anything different? Look at that. Wow. And that's got a little, it's got a little pin clip there. You can hear that, Yep, snaps in. And just, whoa, jeez. Actually, that's not quite as heavy as I thought it was going to be. All right, let's pop it in. See how it slips in. Is that in? Oh, okay, yep, so that's in. You can see that mechanism there. It looks like it's sort of, just in here, it looks like it sort of, you know, locks it. It gets in and, yeah, it does. You can see that. You can see it move down. Have a look at that. Sorry. As I say, we're doing it all on the fly here. So that sort of locks that in. Yeah, okay. Then you've got the batteries there, there's power. Yep. Oh, okay. That's a bit sticky. So you probably have to, wow. Because it's all new, it's a bit snug. So you probably nearly need to stand, put your legs against there, and just give it a little tug by the looks of that, because every time you pull that up, the whole thing comes with it. Yeah, and that's not coming out, which is sort of good, because you just know that when you're flying, it's not going to come out. Now, I don't know the wattage of all this sort of stuff. I'm not going to pretend to know. What have we got? So you've got an on-off. Then you've got the same as the others. You've got your 90% for sort of partial storage, and then your 100%. Okay, so it's got a little spanner on that. So that's. Oh no, that's. Oh, okay. Oh, so that's the same. Oh, so yeah, okay. That's your controller. Good on me. I don't know why they put a little spanner on that. I don't quite get that. Why you have a spanner for the charger? Anyway, lock. Okay, that's new. So what's that? Unlock. So that's, yeah. Okay. I actually don't know what the go is with that, to be quite honest. It's probably all in here. I'll just scroll down, and so it's the BS100 battery station. Yep. Can be connected to two. Whoops, sorry. That's the battery station. Can be connected to 3 TB100 batteries with the highest powers. Yeah, okay. So you got a silent mode. Okay. Turbo, ready to fly mode, which is 90. And start mode 100%, so that's when you're in cycle. Yep, okay. That's cool. So you got a warm up as well. Keep warm. Yeah, okay, that's good, especially where I come from. Gets pretty bloody cold. We actually had some issues there the other day when we were out flying, doing a night job, and went over to pick the batteries up, and they're actually warm, which was in the M30T. So it's nice on your hands when you've got cold hands, but it wastes your battery though. That's the only problem, trying to keep them warm when it's cold. So then you've got your 37s as well, WB37 batteries there to charge them up for your remotes. Yep, no, that's cool. So there you go. That's the battery station. Yeah. So you can see a significant difference with that. So you've got the 4 sets with that, and this one you've only got the 3, but you've got the extra flight time out of them 3 batteries, which would probably come close to making up to the 4. So yeah, that's interesting as well, isn't it? So yeah, everything's pretty much the same, apart from the lock and unlock. So I'm guessing that works when you've got it plugged in and charged, and you've got them charging, you can lock them. So the other thing is, yeah, with these ones, and because you can't with the M30, keep them in the box for a travel case, because with the M30 you've got to have them in the box. Yeah, okay, there you go. So that's all very, very interesting. So what's that? Yeah, so with the batteries, with this puppy here, almost forgot about it. With this here, for the first time, you can do a battery tethered flight. So if you're doing search and rescue, you can actually have a tethered flight and have the bird stay in the air and be charged. And there's a port, I believe there's a port somewhere, and it might be underneath. I thought it was up the top somewhere. Maybe I'm dreaming. There was, I'm pretty sure I've seen something somewhere. Oh, maybe it's in here. What's that? What's that say? Oh, that's a USB. Is that a special? Yeah. Maybe that's that might plug into there. So yeah, it's got you can actually do a tethered flight, so you can just keep it up in the air for ages, and I don't know how long. I actually don't know. Again, this is all new, so we're all flying blind here, all flying blind. But yeah, tethered flying, so you can just keep it in the air and let it stay up there for as long as you need to. So that can be super, super beneficial in certain situations for, search and rescue, or an accident or something that you need to be monitoring the situation or whatever. Yeah, that's another definite interesting new feature. So summing up, would you change to an M400 from the 350? Well, obviously that's going to come down to the work you do. It's, all your payloads and everything, I think all your payloads are still going to be able to connect the same, so you could sort of just keep them and swap them over. It comes down to the work you're doing. If you can justify the extra, there is a lot of features that could be beneficial for people. But on the same token, the 350 is an absolute machine, and that just gets the job done day after day. So yeah, that's it's going to come down to personal preference or your the work that you're doing. So yeah, anyway, I hope you've got something out of that. I certainly have. It's been an interesting little journey to sort of try and go through the weeds and you know, check out all the bits and pieces, like your extra, you know, vents and all the different, you know, cameras and lidars. Yeah. As I say, I apologise. It's a bit messy, a bit ad hoc, but sometimes, as I say, you learn as you go. Because you know, you can have everything pretty and lovely and all that sort of stuff, but sometimes you just want to talk to someone about it, and just, you know, put your 2 bobs worth in and get feedback from people. Because as everything comes out, you know, obviously, the more information that comes out from about the machine, you know, we're going to be able to dial things in and have a better understanding of exactly what it's doing and what all the specs are and all that sort of stuff. But straight out of the box, it's an impressive piece of gear. We are actually waiting for a double gimbal. Pardon me, a double gimbal to come, same as what's on the 350. So that apparently is in transit. So we haven't even got that yet. So we can only do a single payload at the moment. But yeah, first impressions, it's like a super impressive piece of kit. So yeah, should you go out and buy one? Yeah, well, that's up to you. I'm not going to make that decision for you. I don't know what you do, how you do it. Anyway, I hope this has given you a bit of an insight as to the 350 bingo and the 400 and the batteries of both, and the case and the different bits and pieces there. So I hope that's given you something to think about, to ponder, and to obviously, they'll, you know, if anyone sees this and puts stuff in the comments, you know, don't be too harsh on me, please. I'm actually just trying to help you here, so be gentle. But I'm happy to get feedback, and as everything evolves, let us know what's going on. Let us know what upgrades, and because there's going to be people that are going to absolutely dig into the weeds to this, but I don't have enough information because this is straight off the boat. I don't have enough information. There's not enough information out there for me to really, you know, nail all these little idiosyncrasies down. But anyway, alrighty guys, take it easy. And as I say, I hope you got a bit out of it. And you take it easy. Have an awesome day. If you don't blame me. Alrighty, all the best guys, and we'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.